everyone, it's Desiree. Now we are here with packet 3, day 3, page 3, however we want to call that. And this one is really cool with what she put together. So I'm gonna follow closely how she has the envelopes and tucks and everything set up, because it's just really cool. And I really do like the look of it, but we're just gonna tweak some of the decorations and everything else when we get to that. So as always, we have our base that we're putting it on, and we have this piece here, and we're gonna make a pocket out of this. And first, what I want to do is I'm gonna punch a notch out of this one. And just make sure I ink around that. And I did already ink some of my pieces as well. And since it's a pocket, we're going to go just around the 3 edges. And we're going to place this down at the base. And again, we'll trim what we have to. And I know I've got to trim on that one side there. There we go. So we have that in place. And then she has this corner piece. And we're going to set this down in place as well. And I'm going to kind of keep that from the edge just a little bit, because she created these awesome doors to come in. And plus, by doing that, yeah, it just frames it just a little bit. So again, that just creates a tuck spot there. So we have that, and we have that. Okay, so I'm gonna just push this up to the top, and she has these 2 pieces here. Now I've pulled out my scoreboard, and we want these to come to the front, because they're gonna get glued in this way. All right, and then I scored down the middle of this. So let's see if I've matched that up. Again, not going over the score line, matching our pieces up. And again, that score line just helps with the folding. And I've inked around these, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring this one in, make sure that it's lined up. You don't want to go too far over that edge where the score line is. I'm going to curl that, I'm just a little bit over. Hold that down, and we're gonna fold that in place. All right, and then really crease that down as well. And again, so this is going to come forward because they'll get attached this way so that they fold in. And then the same thing here. This one's going to come on this side, down to the bottom, and then come in. And you'll have a slight gap, but let it go. Ooh. All right. So now we're going to glue these down. And again, just a little bit of glue, making sure we're getting to those edges. And then push that down. Come in with our creaser. And just make that flat. And again, fold that forward so that you don't forget. You're not going to go backwards. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, and we're going to close it. And we're going to push up and push down. And what you're looking for, again, is the peak to be in the center, and you want your greenery on each side. So now we're going to get our flaps in place. And we're going to line that up onto the bottom and close it so that you know that it's going to close flat. And then just press. And we'll do the other side. Same thing. We're going to put this underneath. Again, those flaps are going to be hidden when we put it in our album on our page. And we're going to snug that up. And we're going to close. There we go. So now we have this beautiful, it's almost like a cathedral type opening. Now I'm going to work on the inside. She created these pockets, and it's out of these long strips. So, and on her video, you know, she gives measurements on how we want to fold these pockets, because they're in an accordion fold, and as we do the fold, it's creating the pockets. It's really cool. So I'm just gonna do this inking. I did not do the inking before I started, and I'm gonna grab my scoreboard, and I'm gonna score at 1.5. 3 1/8, 5 3/4, and I'm going to stop there because I want to see, because this is going to go down, this is going to come up, and then that's going to go down, and then I'm going to just bend this to create my own pocket, because I'm going to do something just a little bit different. And again, we want to make sure that these are even, and we're going to push them down. And I want to see, because I want this to be raised. So my lines are at 1.5, 3 1/8, and then 5 3/4 and 7 1/4. All right, so 1.5, 3 1/8, 5 3/4, and 7 1/4. Okay. Do that, and we're going to do this. Now I'm going to ink this all up before I start gluing it together, so I know where to ink. And I'm going to ink this up as well, and I'm going to put something down there also. Okay, So I'm going to place this here. I think. Yes. Okay. So let's put our glue on these edges. And again, you want to go along the edge. And we're going to go along the edges here. And then I'm just going to put a touch down there. Not really too worried about this. And now I'm going to completely close this up. And I'm going to set this right here. Okay. So now we have that mechanism in there. And again, you don't want it too close to the edge. You want to kind of bring it out. And I'm actually going to bring her out more. Hopefully I can pick this up. Because remember, I did not print these out on copy paper. I printed mine out on a cardstock base. And you know what? I'm actually going to leave that open now. See how we change our minds? So mine is always, it's just a little thicker. So I'm going to come out to the edge more. Leave a very thin line. And I'm going to shift that down. Perfect. And let's hope we'll see if I can do that, but I think I closed it up, so we'll let it close. No worries. Okay, so that's nice. So now when I close this, she's going to close okay. So I just have a little bit more of a thickness because of what I did there. So again, I'm using a scoreboard. I'm going to go with 1.5, 3 1/8, 5 3/4, and because I'm using my small one, I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to do the folds, making sure that they're lined up before I do the final crease. So just lining up along those edges. There we go. And then this one is 7 1/4. So I'm just going to put a mark there to bring that up with my fingers. It does not have to be perfect. All right, and let's ink. Those tops, and I want to ink down below here. All right, and we're going to set this. Now this one I will leave open. I'm going to put some glue down below there. And we're going to add glue to each side. Just along that edge. And then along this edge. All right, and then we are going to set her in place. Okay. Now I'm going to try to line this up. And I think it's going to go right there. Again, putting mine closer to the edge. That works for me. Okay. Now, for here, I am going to take the two wreaths, and I want the bows to the top, and I'm also going to do just a couple of my hole punch of each, just to give these circles some more strength. And I'm just going to glue these together. Glue all over my fingers, which is awesome. And we'll just ink around these edges. And we'll do the same over here. And ink. Okay, so I want the bow on the top, and what I'm going to do is glue these just on the bottom. I'm going to put my finger where the bow is. Just a little bit of glue there. And I'm going to capture, I'm going to put it in the center, and I'm going to capture that flip. And I'm going to hold this here just for a little bit, because now what we're going to be able to do is, that's going to be its closure. We'll be able to bend that right underneath that little piece. So again, just coming up just a little bit. And then just placing a section of it over that so that it's easy to get that piece in and out. Now, what will also help is sometimes if you curl that, because it is cardstock, so it's holding its, you know, shape there. If I take this out, and if I just take my paper creaser, holding the bottom and just running it along, now we can easily just tuck her in there. And again, I'll pull this out and just curl that paper just a little bit. And now we have our two pairs, and then we have our doors that will close. And again, this will lay flatter once it's on our piece. And I think after I get package 4, we're going to pull the album in so that we can start setting these into place. So you're going to see the hinge bases and how they look so that we can get them on those pieces before we put them onto our hinge. Okay. So before I fill this up, I want to get the closure on. So I have here the 2 plain pieces that she used. And I have some more of those discs. And these I wanted really thick. So I actually have 5 of each. So I'm going to real quick get these together. And by layering up these pieces of cardstock, it's like making your own little piece of chipboard. And this is lightweight cardstock. It's, you know, 65 pounds. And then our last piece. Here we go. And we'll squeeze so that the glue can get to the edge. Let's ink these up. Okay, so now we have solid discs. I'm going to pull in my brads and I'm going to grab, this was like the best piece of packaging that I received. It's just so thick. And I'm going to grab my piercing tool and I'm going to estimate the center and I'm going to puncture down. And pull that off, and we're going to do the same thing on this one. Again, estimating the center. I always go off, but that's okay. Wiggle around. And we're going to put our brads through there. Okay, and now they are nice and secured. Now, before I close these up, I could have punctured right in and done it that way, but that is okay. And let's open these up and make sure they don't come out the sides. I'm going to push it down on the table to get them flat. Oh, that one's way off. But that's okay. That adds to the charm. Okay. So this is going to go here. This one's going to go here. That's too funny that that's far off like that, but I think it's cute. And we are going to add a little bit of double-sided tape and glue so that we can get these glued down. And it's just a small square that I'm going to add just right across that. And I'm going to grab my string. I'm going to use this twine. And I'm going to cut a piece that's longer than what I need, because I want to make sure that I have a lot. So I'm going to pull the backing off, and I'm going to loop the string on top of that so I can really trap her in there. And then just glue. Just glue. And I want that to come down. Matter of fact, now I want that to come in like that. So I am going to get on my tippy toes, and I'm going to put that right there. Now, because I have the tape there, I'm going to get an instant grab. But if I wanted to move this, I could, because of the glue. But I'm really going to press that down. The glue is just coming out, and that's okay. All right, now I'm going to turn this to the side. And we're going to put our funky brad, our very crooked brad, down. Again, still lots of glue, even though there's not the string there. But I really want this to grab, and I'm going to have that come off to at least the side there. And I'm going to estimate and just press down and just hold it. Again, you can see the glue coming out. That's okay. I'll clean that up. I'll come in with my nail. And we're just going to let that dry. All right, so for right now, I'm going to open this back up. Now, we have lots of goodies with this one. And again, I'm just putting some of the pieces in here for right now, because again, I'm going to do a separate video on the ephemera and what that's going to look like. But I want to get the pieces in to where I want them. This I know I'm going to make into a notebook. That I know. And then that notebook's just going to tuck there. So that'll be the first thing that you see when we open this. And then these pieces here are just adorable. To just tuck. They fit really snug. They're not going to go anywhere. And again, I'm just going to put those two. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. And I thought I had another one that looked like that. Alright, I'm going to use that one. Alright, these are our extra pieces. And we're going to keep all of those together because I have a little container here and I'm just putting all the little goodies. Now for these, I really loved, she layered these together. I'm going to do that as well. I've already got these inked. And what I want to do actually Too late. I'm going to put that down. Put this in the center. And we'll put that in the center. We're putting the writing in upside. I didn't have to do that. Okay. Too fun. All right, so now we're going to make sure our writing is right side. There we go. And I'm going to make these tags. And we're just going to put glue on the bottom to get them in place. And then I'm going to ink up the backs. Got to get another spongy thing here. This one is just falling apart. And then I'm going to real quick do a couple more of these and put that on the back. And we'll do this whole one and then just line it up there. So then we have these, and this could actually sit in the front, or what you can do is have it sitting reverse behind this one. Again, so many options, so many options. And then when you close it, you'll see the two poinsettias up top. So lots of choices with what you want to do, how you want to put them in. I'm just going to tuck them in here real quick. Matter of fact, I really do like the fact that they're like a cover for these other surprisey little tuck spots. And now we can close this. This is dry. And now we're able to work our magic when it comes to our closure. And again, because of the glue, you just got to work it. But you have a lot of space for that, and I'll continue to do that off camera. And there you go. This is absolutely beautiful. Love the design. Ingenious. All right, so that is packet 3. We'll be right back with packet 4. We are back with packet 3 or 4. Day 4, and we're going to get the base done again. When it comes to the ephemera and the tags, we're going to get the bigger pieces together and make sure that they're set with this section, and then all of those little pieces I'm going to continue to put in that pot. But this one here, this is our base, and I think I'm going to make it this way. And here's our other piece. I've already taken care of scoring it and inking it for the most part, but we're going to bend our tab, and then we're going to fold this in half. Again, just keeping an eye on our folds. Again, I've used a thicker cardstock. I didn't just do this on pattern paper or copy paper, sorry. And we're going to adhere this just like that. And where's my glue? I'm gonna get our glue down. And again, just making sure we keep that space. Just a little bit. Lining up our edges. And then folding it over to make sure that we are lined up. Pressing. Alright, and then we are going to glue this down. Now you don't have to, you could actually keep that open, but I do like the way Anna set hers up. But I have an idea of something that I'm going to add to this once we get it in our book. Alright, and we're going to close that. Our fold, and then I'm just going to come in and ink this edge. So never worry if you have like a little bit of a white line there, because if you should ink it, it's going to get covered up. And then I'm going to do this and this, and then I'm going to fold this the other way and just ink down that center. All right, now we have our flap set, and she has these adorable, just absolutely adorable little pockets here. And we're going to put a splash of red, and we're going to line these up and glue these on 3 sides. And I'm going to put it right down on the bottom and lining it up along the edge as well. And then we're just going to do the same thing going up. Now, I don't have to worry about the top, and that's for a couple reasons. One, again, these pages are slightly smaller than, I'm going to take that right up to the edge, slightly smaller than the page base, the hinge base that we're putting them on. So, and plus I love things that just stick out when it comes to our book. I am going to make sure that they're not hanging over. And now we're going to do the same thing on the inside with our brown tags. I went with the red for the outside, just to have that splash of color. Now, when I put these in, I'm going to keep them away from that score line just a little bit, again, for the folding of the page, and if I have to trim, I will trim. Again, I'm going to make sure that's flipping over. And then any overhang will just trim right off. And I'm going to look at where I put the other one and just make that close, but not going to be so worried about it. And again, I'm going to take this one right up to the top. So I think that'll look pretty cool. All right, check our fold over, and you can see we've got a lot of overhang. So I'm going to grab my scissors. I cleaned off my area just a little bit, and we're just going to shave that right off. Okay, and that's pretty much what this base page looks like. Now we're going to do some decorating in here, but that's once the book or the page is set in place. Now this, I'm going to line this up and I'm going to score it. And I want to score this one as well. I really want to keep these as books or pullouts. Again, just lining up those sides, scoring that down, and then as I'm folding over, just lining up these edges. Because sometimes when we score, it can, you know, offset itself. But I'm going to leave these like this because I don't know if I'm going to close them up or make them books or, you know, whatever it is that we're doing. And then these are all the beautiful ephemera pieces. Now, I know when it comes to these, and she used these are just absolutely gorgeous. I love the tops because of the numbers. And I should have one more. Here it is. And let's see. And we'll put one right here. And I'm going to put one of these here. And put a greenery one here. And as I said, I'm good with that sticking out. Because we can have fun with that piece in our journal. And I'll do the inking on those and everything else once we get into that. So all of these pieces here, we're going to put in our pot. We're just going to keep building up on this, filling that up. Set that aside. And what I'm going to do real quick, because this one went together just 1, 2, 3, because I'm clearing out the cobwebs in my brain. Because I always make mistakes, and you know I'm okay with it. So here's our album, and here are the pages that are going to go down onto our hinges, and you can see with the layout, and I have them paper clipped to these pages, that when we set them, we've got all of this wonderful real estate around it. So if I wanted to create belly bands across these, I can. If I want to have a belly band with a magnetic closure, I can. And that's the beauty of it. So we have this, and I always mark them. Post-its are my friends when it comes to the hinge pages, because I put them together before I put them in my album. Now, don't forget, in your album, you've got your inside cover and for the front and the back. Those are considered pages as well. But I kind of look for something different on those. Now, since this flips out like this, we want this to have a page that's sitting on the right when we look at that. So that's why I do have packet 1 or day 1 sitting at the first page. But just know they're not going to sit in here. They're going to sit in the center. Now, when I turn this, I actually put day 2, and that's the one where we've made it an accordion envelope. But when we set that here, and it's adhered all the way down here, it's going to open this way. So we'll be able to create this closure that can come up to hold this wonderful envelope in place. And I have those folders sitting behind it. So as we construct our page bases, our decorations, we can look to say, okay, where would we want this? Now, I think with all these colors, I do like, and I have our day 3 here, and I know I heard you all screaming that when I glued these down, the string couldn't get underneath. Huh, never fear. I was able to get up underneath that so that now our string can now wrap around it the way that it should. I heard you all. Yes, yes. I was saying some funny words after filming, and I'm looking at day 3 right there. I think for right now, I'm going to put section 4 or day 4. I'm going to put that one right here. I think that will look really sharp because, again, this is going to flip out here. So we want this to our right. We wouldn't want to put this inside because our pages don't necessarily lay completely flat like we can get them in a junk journal style, a signature that we sew. This is being put together just a little differently. So we just have to make sure that we have that flexibility. And then we'll have our papers, her digital papers at the base on these with just a little bit of a border mat for that. So that's how we have these so far. And in our next video, we will go through 5 and 6, and I like to keep them in the album, 5 and 6 for our next packets. So I will see you then. Continue to create. I hope you're enjoying this. It's just a different spin on something that would otherwise be absolutely gorgeous in a junk journal style format. Again, I will have all of Anna's information down below, to the playlist, to these digital prints that I'm featuring in this series here for Pink Monarch Prints, and also to her website. She's got some fun things there as well. So enjoy the process. Have fun creating. Try new and different things. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell so that you'll know when the next video is live, if I haven't put them all out at once in one day. But please enjoy, have fun, have a wonderful day, and always remember, be creative. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then.